Hello there, everybody. How are you doing? A little LRB. I tell you, I love those guys. They had a great gift from our great people in Australia. Thank you. So, hey, everybody, how you doing? It's Thursday. Good to see you, and welcome. I just speak favor over us all, and hope you're having a great one. As I hit all the buttons, and people go, "Okay, how you doing, man? I'm doing good." And we are live. That's what it says, and I agree with it. So, what's happening? Happy birthday if you're having one. And BOSTO, baby. Lots of people in the chat room. Hey, Nina, what's up? Deborah Sloan, good to see you, dear. John Price. Ballard and Prime, peace, good to see you. B3, what's up? Loretta Dar, good to see you. I think Lost in Space, good to see you, brother. John, let's see. David Castle, much love. Sure, Martin and Heidi's out there, and Gaia and Paul and everyone else. I mean, good to see you. It's a groovy day. Cloudy here, kind of chilly, and then the stuff is in the air. That's all I got to say. It's but hey, I love this time of year. So what's happening, Susie Q? Good to see you. Doug, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Linda, good to see you. Chrissy, what's up? Good to see you. Let's see. What is that? Is that OB? ZRZ? Good to see you. Brandy, hello. Let's see. I'm looking in the big screen. Hey, look, Francis, how you doing? We are prospering, brother. I'll tell you. So as I'm fading off to the dream world, I just stopped and thought about this. You know, it's like looking at all the things. I knew Martin Heidi's out there. Hey, Steve, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Go. How are you? About all the ways that, and I thought about this as well. Ever since these two angels, as you can see, there's Ariel and Poiel. Ever since these beings have, whether it's thought form, whether it's thought intent, or whether they really do exist, Lynn and I were just talking. And you know, it's not the real big thing. We fully expect that, but it is the numerous small things that really become the big thing. And maybe it's just, you know, and obviously it's an individual's belief system, but I go by the adage, nothing is impossible for those who believe. In fact, we should be living in a reality where the impossible is always possible. Actually, because I think we do. And then, you know, I have to say this, Manikel, good angel to know. Good angel to know. It's the angel of knowledge of good and evil. This is a good people having, you know, I'm getting them up on the A-team wall over here. The A-team is expanding out. Powerful energy. You know, when you print these sigils out and you charge them up, yeah, groovy stuff. Often wonder is when you're completely immersed into the next realm to come, I wonder how is that going to be? I mean, if thought becomes, I mean, do you have the ability to read other spirits? I think that's going to be the first lesson many of us are going to have to learn. Go to school. How do I read a spirit being? I'm sure there's a way. I think these angels will help as well. I mean, I can just see myself sitting in the class, the newbie class, and, you know, you got the instructor up there saying, this is how it will work here as you go forth. Everything you do will be seen and everything you say will be heard. And, you know, that kind of monotone teacher. And then along come my angels and they say, hey, there's Steiger. They come in and they say, hey, we got this guy. I don't know. Listen, I think they're pretty good friends. I haven't seen them betray me. And I've had a lot of humans who have done that. So anyway, what's happening? See, tonight, the Steiger perspective, artistfirst.com, 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. here in the Mountain West. Tune in. Going to be a good one. That's all I will say. But I do want to continue on with two things. We are prospering. Again, finishing out that thought. I'm so grateful. It's like every day someone is sending me a box of chocolate. And if you're a chocolate connoisseur like I am, Rennie knows this. She'll testify to this. I think chocolate is the food of the gods, just my opinion. And it's so good for you. It really is, particularly the good chocolate. There's chocolate out there that, but anyway, I digress. In the numerous ways that it continues just to manifest. I mean, it's every day. Something is manifesting every day. And like I said, it may be very poquito or very grande. That's all I got to say. So, pulled this angel's card, and this is an interesting angel. This is Ha Ashai, Hashasiah, Ha Ash A. Excuse me, mispronounced it. Ha Ash A, like Isaiah. All right, the angel of universal medicine. Deus secretus impetratus. God's secret impetratus. God, the impenetrable secret. Patron of medical-related professions, doctors, nurses, paramedics, healers, therapists, spiritual masters. Protector of weak and ill people. Calling this angel if you're having a rough time on it. Brings universal remedies for all kind of illness and pain. I'm always drawn back to the story of the healing pool in the story in the Gospels, and how the sick would gather around this pool, and once a year at an appointed time, an angel would come down and stir the waters. And those who were first into the waters were healed. And there are those type of customs in virtually every culture. So I can't look under there, get distracted on that. So that's pretty cool. Helps in the study and practice of medicine, shows how to find inner wisdom, allows our soul to move towards spirituality. Now that's an interesting thing. Do all souls necessarily are drawn to spirituality? Are there those souls who just simply want nothing of it? I mean, it's their choice as they come into this realm. They don't want spirituality. Then that begs the question, in the next life to come, in the next realm, is it divided by those who have the perception that they don't need this thing called spirituality? They don't want that element into their life. Maybe it's not on their ascension list. But then there are those who are naturally drawn to it all their life. I don't know. We seem to have an angel for those of us who are drawn towards the spirituality. Grants the philosopher's stone and helps to uplift souls. Far out. Symbol of secrets of the universe and patron of high science and esoteric knowledge. Wow. Love these angels. Nathan, I mean, I've left his link down there. Um, just a marvelous, marvelous thing that you've done here. Bestows us with an understanding of our existence. Oh, that's deep. So everyone listening, could you, in an essay of 500 words or less, write down and tell us what your understanding of your existence is in the universe? And you can't use the crappy stuff and, the stuff that, everyone just says, no, this got to be personal, man. Can you do it? I love this guy. Fills us with energy to take care of our health through a good diet and regular exercise and live a harmonious life. Cool. Provides with infinite goodness, kindness, unconditional, and everlasting service. I just got someone to put up on my list, and I'm just making sure. Yeah, I do have it. Okay. This is a good angel, folks. Hashasiah. That's pretty cool. Provides with infinite goodness, kindness, unconditional, and everlasting service. Protects from deception, crooks, or pseudo-therapists who profit from the naivety and ignorance of others. Wow. Got an idea? You don't want to piss this one off. Liberates from manipulators, two-faced people, and tricksters. Heals incurable diseases and disability when the faith is great. Calling those things that be not as though they are. Now faith is the assurance of things not seen. Offers protection during staying in a hospital or hospice. Helps in situations like health issues, nursing care, treating the symptoms of a disease and physical pain, surgical operations, lack of spiritual knowledge within the field of medicine and fraud. Pretty cool angel. Some of the principalities. Its archangel is Hanel. The tarot card and the 9 of Wands. Interesting. And this angel, good time to just say, hey, how you doing? Would you like to come in and have some tea? Is like 4:40 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, very, very cool. And on December 19th is a good time to talk to them. That's the very day I was hit by a car. Well, that's pretty cool. All right. I really like getting to know these angels. I haven't found one who I got to say I haven't liked. That's all I got to say. So, continuing on with the whole, here's what I know is that through repetition, we grow. It becomes natural to us. And that's like where I stand with faith. To me, faith is real. It's not even a question. I know that faith is my magic. Faith can do miracles that I can create. It's my faith. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I grew up with that. That was so ingrained in my consciousness, I can't remove it. It's there. But it has been a tremendous asset. And I'll carry it with me to the next life. It's amazing. And we all have been given the measure of faith. What is a measure? Well, technically what it means, a measure can be either a cup, or actually what it means is the seed. The seed of faith. Faith is like a mustard seed. once it's planted and it's nourished, it becomes the greatest of all trees, where the birds of the air come and nest to bring their young. See, that stuff stays with you. For me, it's like, yeah, not a problem. So, Robert V, yeah. And Robert V, I know I owe you an email, brother. I'm a little bit back behind. It's when I write these Steiger perspectives. They typically take about 2 to 2.5 days. Lots of writing. Typically, they are 5,000 words. So, yeah. Now, y'all go do that. Constance says mustard. I love mustard, by the way. I hope everyone is doing good in the chat room. By the way, I saw that over on the Andromeda 7, it came up in the recommendations. A lot of people sometimes email me and ask me, I don't take contributions, but I have only one place that if you look on my homepage, and if you look up there on the corner, and that is Lois's Cajun Tarot to her food pantry. And if you really enjoy the show, thank you for the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. It helps in the algorithm. That's what they say. But if you ever want to make a donation, as I understand, Lois is, and it's everywhere. But the thing about in Louisiana, and I need to probably get her on, is that it's been nearly 2 months since that hurricane hit down there. There's been no aid down there. There's still people out there that haven't had electricity in 2 months. And it's difficult. So look at Lois's food pantry on there. And if you want to send her a couple dollars, I'm sure she would appreciate it. So speaking of which, in which prosperity works, we have this document, right, that some of us use. And I think it's uplifting, and I like reading it. So if you don't have this document, you should have it. I'll be more than happy to send it to you. So you write in your notebook on the first day and you sign this, and you keep it like I do up over on my wall. It says this day, in this case would be Thursday. Well, we don't know what day it is, but we'll play along that it's the 21st of October. At least that's what we are led to believe. It says, I cease believing in visible money as my supply and my support, and I view the world of effect as it truly is, simply as an out-picturing of my former beliefs. I believe in the power of money, therefore I surrender my God-given power and authority to an objectified belief. I believed in the possibility of lack, thus causing a separation in consciousness from the source of my supply. I believed in mortal man and carnal conditions, and through this faith gave man and conditions power over me. And you see the key word is faith. Let me tell you, the archons, they feed off of that. If you're a person who only sees the negative as the reality of things to come, that's faith. It's inverted faith. That's what fear is. Fear is faith in the negative. Interesting, isn't it? Faith has the ability, if where it's not even there, is to create a positive atom. That's how powerful we are. Anyway, let's continue. I believed in the mortal illusion created by the collective consciousness of error thoughts. And in doing so, I have limited the unlimited. No more. This day, I renounce my so-called humanhood and claim my divine inheritance as a being of God. This day, I acknowledge God, whatever that is for you, and only God as my substance. You could say source, creator, first consciousness, whatever. I mean, you think about it, do spirits need wealth? Do they spirits need the ability? Do you still need your faith when you die? Probably going to need it more than what you can think. Anyway, I continue as my substance, my supply, my source, and my support. Then use this affirmation each day and repeat 3 additional times for a total of 40 days. Everything has a ritual. If you get into an exercise routine, you're not going to really begin to see results until about after day 30. Then you're going to start seeing it. And by day 40, looking pretty good there, baby. Memorize and meditate upon each affirmation twice a day. Make notes of any thoughts that come to you. Now, if you're one of those people like I am, and you're going, okay, I can dig this, but, I can condense this down. It's cool. I mean, you don't need a whole lot of time to read 3 or 4 sentences, right? All right. Then use the affirmation. Number 1, source is lavish, unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe. This all-providing source of infinite prosperity is individualized as me, the reality of me. Oh, I like this. Always have. I lift up my mind and heart to be aware, to understand, and to know that the divine presence I am is the source and the substance of all my good. I am conscious of the inner presence as my lavish abundance. I am conscious of the constant activity of the mind of infinite prosperity. Therefore, my mind is filled with the light of truth. 4, through my consciousness of my God self, the Christ within, as my source, I bring into my mind and feeling nature the very substance of spirit. This substance is my supply. Thus, my consciousness of the presence of source within me is my supply. 5, money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My understanding and knowledge of the all-providing activity of the divine within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. It takes a while before something becomes a truth. And it's interesting about truths. Once they become established as truths, very difficult to uproot them. 6, my inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience based on my needs and desires. As the principle of supply in action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires. Now, if you go each day and you wake up and Linda Brooks, I'm going to use your name. And so, Linda, as you get out of your bed, the first thing that hits you is this: there is absolutely nothing impossible. In fact, it is impossible for my needs not to be met this day. I'm just curious, do you think if that was your first thought, your first spoken words to each day, how long would it take before that starts manifesting? I mean, you'd be the type of person where you walk out of King Soopers, and as you're putting your paper bag into the trash, you look in there, and there was 100 and a 1 and a 5 that was in a sack. Someone had apparently, I guess, don't know how they put it in there, but they put it in the trash. One man's trash is another man's treasure, right? But my point is, this kind of stuff will just start manifesting. Anyway, I digress. 7, the divine consciousness that I am is forever expressing its true nature of abundance. This is its responsibility, not mine. Did you get that? The divine consciousness that I am is forever expressing its true nature of abundance. This is its responsibility, not yours. My only responsibility is to remain aware of this truth. Therefore, I am totally confident in letting go and letting Source appear as the abundant of all sufficiency in my life and in my affairs. 8, my consciousness of the Spirit within me as my unlimited source is the divine power to restore the years the locust has eaten and the cankerworms. This is one that's on our wall in our living room. You know, you can reverse every curse. You can actually reverse time itself. I mean, physically. Now, we're all limited to a degree as to what we can and cannot do where these bodies, but these bodies will respond to this energy field. And when you think about the locusts, those are the things that have, those are the dreams that have been stolen. The cankerworms are the things that have attacked your body. And all of these can be restored. The curse can be reversed. It makes all things new and places me on the high road to abundant prosperity. This awareness, understanding, and knowledge of spirit appears as every visible form and experience I could possibly desire. And I just heard this. There are some people who find this very difficult. And it's not to be overlooked. There are some people, because the way our society, the way that we are conditioned from day one, makes this very difficult. When I was in NASCAR and doing corporate sponsorship for the teams, there was a guy that Bruton Smith, who owned Atlanta Motor Speedway and a number of them. The point was, this guy, if you saw him, wore a pair of bibbed overalls, and he carried this. It was, I can still see it today. It was this red, small ice chest, and it was on Friday. I remember this, and he was talking to Dale Earnhardt and some other people, and Bruton was there, and somehow or another we got pulled into the conversation, and this guy pulls out in his little red ice chest some moonshine and offered it to us. And later we found out that that guy was $100 millionaire. And it was interesting, as time went on, I got a little bit more just to know him, never knew him really well, but he had this attitude. He said, I never worry about money. He says, if I'm worrying, he says, then I am, he said, as he puts it, going backwards. And he said, he walked a life of abundance. And I believe he's the type of guy that could be walking down the street and a limousine would come and pick him up. I really do believe that. Finally, we get here to the bottom. When I'm aware of the God self within me as my total fulfillment, I am fulfilled. I am now aware of the truth. I have found the secret of life, the knowledge that the activity of divine abundance is eternally operating in my life. I simply have to be aware of the flow, the radiation of that creativity, which is constantly, continuously, easily, and effortlessly pouring forth from my divine consciousness. I am now aware. I am now in the flow. I can just see John Candy in Planes, Trains, and Automobile. That one scene, when they're in the car heading up to Chicago, and he says, "I go like the mighty river flows." Yeah, just go with it. I keep my mind and my thoughts off this world, and I place my entire focus on the divine presence within as the only cause of my prosperity. I acknowledge the inner presence as the only activity of my financial affairs, as the substance of all things. I place my faith in the principle of abundance in action within me. And that is from Moon Rising. So thank you. I remember that when this was sent. I love this. We need this a little bit more in our lives. This is good stuff, folks. I mean, there's plenty of crap out there. And there's people who cover that. And I guess, you need to be aware. But boy, we need sanctuary. We need a relief. Humanity does. And prosperity is, again, it's not the physicality of anything. It's within it. If you're healthy today, you are prospering. And you're looking good, may I say. Damn, you're looking good. All of you. Whew. Man. Been seeing some of the pictures. Y'all are hotties out there. Doesn't matter whether you're 60, 70, 30, 40, 20. It doesn't matter. It's that within. I mean, when I pass over, I'm sure that I don't know when that will be, but I have no doubt that most of us would know me just by me. Like how I learned how some of you are by your words. Brandy, you're right. Let it flow like a mountain stream. Let grow. And it says, let your love grow with the smallest of things. Yeah, I love those poets, aren't they? Great song too, by the way. So, Brent the Giant says, my health is gone. Well, get it back. If you have, Brent, a living cell, you've got to begin to look down into that cellular level. And you got to say, I love you, man. Thank you. I speak life into you. You regenerate. You revibrate. You are vital. Yeah. You're always creating newness of life. It's in you, man. Yeah. Been in a bad way since I was 38. Well, I think it's time to reverse that. Before you go out, be in the best way. That's the way I look at it. And folks, I'm not just sprouting this crap out. I lived it. When the meningitis and double dose of the Lyme disease on top of it, that crap damn near killed me. It really did. And it took me years to get back. But I never doubted a day that I would not regain that which the cankerword came to take. I took it back. I said, screw you. It invaded my body. It attacked my body. And my body and I have a contract. My body is beautiful. I love my body. We got a contract, and part of my contract is I speak life over my body every day. I tell my body it looks beautiful. It's regenerating. It's revitalizing. I have strength. I have increased stamina. I have increased vitality. My mind is sharp. My spirit is alive, and my body vibrates to that. I love this. I like coming together on this. This is just all cool. That's all I got to say. Prosperity, man. Prosperity is, again, it's a state of consciousness. You don't even have to own anything, and you can be as prosperous as anyone. In fact, as a few people that I've known who have been really, really wealthy were some of the saddest people I met. And one of the words of wisdom by one of them said, the truest, richest man or woman on this planet is the person who doesn't need anything, but yet has everything. Now, if you go through like that, it's going to be very difficult for you to become a slave to materialism. Oh, it's nice to have the fun things. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. We all kind of dig it. But again, if you have lost everything you worked for, sacrificed everything, and lost it, then had to sell everything, and then had to rely on the kindness of relatives, strangers. When you realize in those quiet moments, you have a choice. You can either mourn the loss or regrow the desire. And I've been there. And what I found through all that was the material things, they come and go. But what's in here, it never goes away. And either you can let it grow or you can let it recess. Someone needed to hear that. So there is a certain prosperity in not having a whole lot, is what I'm trying to say. And typically you will attract that which is around you. I mean, you typically will rise to the inner vision or permission that you've given yourself. There are just some people who can't handle abundant wealth. Read the stories, those who have won lotteries. It ends up being the death of them, from literally. Many of them are bankrupt within 5 years. Why? They were never vibrating at that level. And their image of what wealth was, or the perception of it, they found out not at all. I don't know how the hell we got off on this one, but okay. I guess someone needed to do it. And I guess they're, listen, I kind of look at it like this. This channel kind of goes with the way their spirits want to flow. So, Bellet Brand says the psychological term is called sudden wealth syndrome. You're absolutely correct. And it's dangerous. It'll kill you. It's back in the days when I attended sales training and psychology training, went to many Zig Ziglar conferences, Brian Tracy, Norman Vincent excuse me, and others. It was interesting because it's a completely reconstruction. I mean, you have to do a complete remodel job. And the problem is because we have all these influences of, Madison Avenue and television. And today everybody wants to be a star, you want to be able to be a singer, be an entertainer, because that is supposedly the way to go. And how sad is it that we have now diverged from what true prosperity was? The happiest people were the people that had their own farms. There were those who helped in the Industrial Revolution. My point is that you have to go to what you see. And we see a lot here. All right. Carolyn, I'll tell you, I'm right there with you. At times the old tongue can get tongue-tied and twisted. Let's see, I'm watching all that. All right. So here's cheers. Love my tea. Been getting bombarded from advertisers, and you realize that they're just, they're like throwing the seine net out there, hoping to grab someone. And it's funny because this channel, you would be surprised at how many video game companies that say, listen, we want to advertise in your channel. And I'm going, have you ever watched this channel? Have you ever watched this channel? I mean, yeah, video games is probably not the audience. And I have no doubt probably many of you do play them, but yeah. Do you even realize it? Best move I ever made was demonetizing this channel. It was the best thing ever. Because, it's like there's a certain freedom, man. It's like, yeah, this is cool. And ain't no problem with those who do it. I mean, everyone has their own way. That's just my way. It's just the way it is. Okay. Man, 1241. Look at that. Jeez. Okay. I love life. It is just way cool for all of us. And by the way, if any of you want that pathway to prosperity, just email me, print it out, put it up on your wall, put it next to the favor invocation. And I'm telling you what, you'll be batting 1,000 at that way. Of course, if you're batting 1,000, it's like, they say, well, you have to give 110%. Wait a minute. If 100% is a whole, how do I get 10% more of the whole? I mean, I'm giving everything I got. I'm playing a deadly video game right now. Al, I hope you're not driving. There you go. That could be on today's. That would be interesting. Well, there's a Boxy Punk Chick. How you doing? I'm tired of gaming companies sponsoring every. Yeah, I mean, they never watch this channel. I mean, yeah, it's about the total opposite of where we be going. Anyway, let's see. Having fun. Tune in tonight. So what else we got? All right. We're talking about time. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it is. It is on our side. It's an interesting thing about time. There's I think the new Marvel series that they reinvented Loki about bringing that character back. And the fact that it's interesting because they have projected out what apparently all the rest of us are picking up on: time. And the thought is, what if there's a species, a race of beings that are in fact the timekeepers of all dimensions, all realities? There's no one higher than them. Even God, the first consciousness, is under them. Of course, it would imply then that, as I used to think, in fact, when I lived in Knoxville, I had a whole room where I had invited a number of UT professors, and we would talk about it. If you look at the known universe, and if the universe is expanding as they say it is, then the question is that then the universe is defined by matter, obviously, position, obviously, it's position of somewhere, and time, movement. And if it's expanding, what is it expanding into? Which would then imply that the physicality of the known universe, is it considered invasive? Is it considered to be alien to that which it is moving into? Is there something that is beyond our even remote ability as to what existence is, outside of this bubble we call the known universe? And it's quite fascinating when you think about it. I mean, if you look at the universe as this, thank you, Marsha Price, keeps it right here. And this is the universe. It's rolling. And by the way, it's starting to get bigger as I start pulling it apart. And what is it expanding into? And if we're expanding into something, is it greater than that which we perceive as this? And if time, can't read these things, smart people in there. So I came across this book, and it's a good book. I'm going to enjoy reading it. I read just a little bit of it today, and I thought how the synchronicities just continue to expand and explode and just are everywhere because it's time. And I'm just thinking I could rewrite that about a half a dozen ways, even more. That's true, Mr. Floyd. I like that one too. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Steve Miller Band. I have seen them. I've seen them 4 times at Red Rocks, and it's always been a great band. So anyway, and then you got Al Stewart. Time Passages. Anyway, let's get on with it, Steiger. Would you quit? All right. So we're going to just finish out, the last 10 minutes. This is a nice little story. Everybody likes stories. So gather around, one and all. Excuse me. Bring your favorite libation or whatever. And let's take a little trip. Take a little trip with me. All right. A man sits alone in a cave. His hair is long. His beard reaches his knees. He holds his chin in the cup of his hands. He closes his eyes. He is listening to something. Voices. Endless voices. They rise from the pool in the corner of the cave. They are the voices of people on earth. They want one thing only: time. Sarah Lemon is one of those voices. As a teenager, in our day, she sprawls on a bed and studies a photo on her cell phone. A good-looking boy with a coffee-colored hair. Give me 1 second. I want to do. Let me see there. Here we go. Thank you. All right. Tonight, she will see him. Tonight at 8:30. She recites it excitedly. 8:30, 8:30. And she wonders what to wear. The black jeans? The sleeveless top? No, she hates her arms. Not the sleeveless. I need more time, she says. Victor Delamonte is one of those voices. A wealthy man in his mid-80s, he sits in a doctor's office. His wife sits beside him. White paper covers the exam table. The doctor speaks softly. There's not much we can do, he says. Months of treatment haven't worked. It's the tumors, the kidneys. Victor's wife tries to speak, but the words catch, as if sharing the same larynx. Victor clears his throat. What Grace wants to ask is, how much time do I have left? His words and Sarah's words drift up to the faraway cave and the lonesome, bearded man sitting inside it. This man is Father Time. You might think him a myth, a cartoon from a New Year's card, ancient, haggard, clutching an hourglass, older than anyone on the planet. But Father Time is real. And in truth, he cannot age. Beneath the unruly beard and cascading hair, signs of life, not death. His body is lean, his skin unwrinkled, immune to the very thing he lords over. Once before he angered God, he was just another man, fated to die when his days were done. Now he has a different fate, banished to this cave. He must listen to the world's every plea for more minutes, more hours, more years, more time. He has been here an eternity. He has given up hope. But a clock ticks for all of us, silently, somewhere, and one is ticking even for him. Soon, Father Time will be free to return to Earth and finish what he started. Beginnings. This is a story about the meaning of time, and it begins long ago, at the dawn of man's history, with a barefoot boy running up a hillside. Ahead of him is a barefoot girl. He's trying to catch her. This is often the way it is between girls and boys. For these two, it is the way it will always be. The boy's name is Dor. The girl is Ali. At this age, they are nearly the same age, with high-pitched voices and thick, dark hair, their faces splashed with mud. As Ali runs, she looks back at Dor and grins. What she feels are the first stirrings of love. She scoops a small rock and tosses it high in his direction. Dor, she yells. Dor, as he runs, is counting his breaths. He is the first person on earth to attempt this, counting, making numbers. He began by matching one finger to another, giving each pairing a sound and a value. Soon he was counting anything he could. Dor is gentle, an obedient child, but his mind goes deeper than those around him. He is different. And on this early page of man's story, one different child can change the world, which is why God is watching him. Dor, Ali yells. He looks up and smiles. He always smiles at Ali. And the stone falls at his feet. He cocks his head and forms a thought. Throw another. Ali throws it high. Dor counts his fingers. A sound for one, a sound for two, a grump. He is tackled from behind by a third child, Nim, a boy much larger and stronger. Nim crows as he puts his knee in Dor's back. I am king. All three children laugh. They resume their running. Try to imagine a life without timekeeping. You probably can't. You know the month, the year, the day of week. There is a clock on your wall or the dashboard of your car. You have a schedule, a calendar, a time for dinner or a movie. Yet all around you, timekeeping is ignored. Birds are not late. A dog does not check its watch. Deer do not fret over passing birthdays. Man alone measures time. Man alone chimes the hour. And because of this, man alone suffers a paralyzing fear that no other creature endures. A fear of time running out. Sarah Lemon fears time is running out. She steps from the shower and calculates 20 minutes to blow dry her hair, half an hour for makeup, half an hour to dress, 15 minutes to get there, 8:30. The bedroom door opens. Her mother, Lorraine, honey, knock, Mom. Okay, knock, knock. Lorraine eyes the bed. She sees options laid out, 2 pairs of jeans, 3 t-shirts, a white sweater. Where are you going? Nowhere. Are you meeting someone? No. You look good in white. Mom. Lorraine sighs. She lifts a wet towel from the floor and leaves. Sarah returns to the mirror. She thinks about the boy. She pinches the fat around her wrist. 8:30. She is definitely not wearing the white. Victor Delamonte fears time is running out. He and Grace step from the elevator into their penthouse. Give me your coat, Grace says. She hangs it in the closet. It's quiet. Victor uses a cane to move down the hallway past the large oil painting by a French master. His abdomen is throbbing. He should take a pill. He enters his study, filled with books and plaques and a huge mahogany desk. Victor thinks about the doctor. There's not much we can do. What does that mean? Months? Weeks? Is it this the end of him? This can't be the end of him. He hears Grace heels pacing on the tile floor. He hears her dial the phone. Ruth, it's me, she says. Ruth's her sister. Grace lowers her voice. We just came from the doctor. Alone in his chair, Victor does the math of dwindling life. He feels a breath shoot from his chest, as if someone choked it out. His face contorts, his eyes moisten. As children grow, they gravitate to their fates. So did Dor, Nim, and Ollie, and the three children of the hillside. Nim became tall and broad-shouldered. He carried mud bricks for his father, a builder. He liked that he was stronger than the other boys. Power became Nim's fascination. Ollie grew more beautiful, and her mother warned her to keep her dark hair braided and her eyes lowered, lest her fairness encourage the bad desires of men. Humility became Ollie's cocoon. Dor. Well, Dor became a measure of things. He marked stones, he notched sticks, he laid out twigs, pebbles, anything he could count. He often fell into a dreamy state, thinking about numbers, and his older brother left him behind when they went hunting. Instead, Dor ran up the hills with Ollie, and his mind raced ahead of him, beckoning him to follow. And then, one hot morning, a strange thing happened. Dor, now a teen by our years, sat in the dirt and wedged a stick in the ground. The sun was strong, and he noticed a stick's shadow. He placed a stone at the shadow's tip. He sang to himself. He thought about Ollie. They had been friends since they were children, but now he was taller and she was softer. And he felt a weakness when her lowered eyes lifted up to meet his. He felt as if he were being tipped over. A fly buzzed past, interrupted his daydreaming. Ah, he said, swatting it away. When he glanced back at the stick, its shadow no longer reached the stone. Dor waited, but the shadow grew even smaller because the sun was moving up in the sky. He decided to leave everything in place and return tomorrow. And tomorrow, when the sun cast a shadow directly to the stone, that moment would be the same moment as today. In fact, he reasoned, wouldn't every day contain one such moment? When the shadow, stick, and stone aligned, he would call it Ollie's moment, and he would think of her each day at that juncture. He tapped his forehead, proud of himself, and thus did man begin the mark of time. All right, that's where I'll break off. That's, like I said, a little digression, not digression, little fun time. The reading of time. It's all us, man. Time, we're all on it. And it's an interesting thing about time. We embrace time, but when it's our time, we don't want time. Like, no, man. Much love to you, Deborah Triac. Good to see you. Cool talk again. Well, thank you, dear. Thank you. Much love to you. Hey, that's what we call it here. I don't know what we call this channel. Is this the Philosopher Corner? I don't know. It's fun. Noontime fun. Well, thank you, Nina. Much love to you, dear. Infant courtiers. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. That honors, it humbles me, actually. Thank you very much. So time marches on. So tune in tonight. I talk about the Biden surprise. Oh, yeah. Timepiece one. Ain't that the truth, Al? All right. Well, Punk Chick, go and pick up the children. Have a great day. Speak favor over you and prosper, girl. Prosper and over in your family. El Guapo, good to see you. Wayne's World is a great place, isn't it? All right, folks. See you tomorrow, I believe. We do seem to meet at the same time each day. Interesting. I mean, there's a whole lot of time to begin to think about time here. All right. Much love to you. Thank you, Martin, Heidi. Thank you, Guy and Paul. I know that eventually Trina will be listening to this, and hi, Jenny, and all the rest of you, Angel, David Castle, John Adams, Posey. Just speak love over y'all. Listen, if we only have our little remnant, that's cool. It works here. We get the happy feet. Gotta go. All right, baby. Much love, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, tonight. Yeah, check in tonight. All right.